Welcome. Welcome everyone. There was a bit of a different start, I recognize that. So that's great. Since nothing is just happening to you, but you literally participate in all of it. So if it's something is different, you must have asked for it. And that's really lovely. And that's the way it works. So welcome to the Quantum Enlightenment, you could say, like taking another look at the lessons of A Course in Miracles in a different way. We use quantum physics and other ideas too to come to a deeper insight in what is actually occurring during the lessons. Without skipping the idea of doing the lessons, like you can still do the lesson, absolutely, you should. But like, where are the lessons going to make you ready for? Because you're not doing them just for doing them. So there's something that is in fact being offered and that you can discover. Having undergone this process of what is actually described in the Course in Miracles, there's something here to share with you. That's why I'm doing it like this. So, and that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. It's great to do it like this. And great to be able to literally make the step from, for instance, the review of the lesson of today, for instance, or parts from the lesson of today, and say, bring it back to experiences you have right now, in which you recognize something has changed, something has shifted in my perception, in the way that I look around, in the way that I'm conscious of myself. There is something changing in that. And so that's why I'm starting this too, with, okay, this entrance was different. Like, you expected certain things that were not there, so it's different. Why is that? Because you ask for it, simple as that. You literally participate in this action, in this event. You participate in it. And participating is not just receiving, sitting back and consuming what has been given. No, of course not. So you expose yourself to the recognition. You expose yourself to a recognition of what is given in this moment. And that has basically not much to do with how you knew yourself. That's why that always seems like, huh, what are you talking about? Oh, what is this? And I say, like, okay, take it easy. You will enter into this new experience just by yourself. And that just happens to you. Suddenly you find yourself hearing this. Suddenly you find yourself being receptive for this. Recognizing, oh yeah, it starts right here. It starts with me. It is not given to me as a teacher would give a book to you. It's like, okay, read this and you're going to be fine. Like, that's not the same. No, this is an opening of consciousness to perceive in a whole different way. Basically, not even using your perception directly or your thoughts directly. No, you release all that and come to a different experience of yourself, because normally you would pick up ideas and you would associate with them. Today we go really deep into the matter, because I recognize too, is like last week we did the first 5 lessons because it was the 5th of January 2026. Like, okay, that's just like 5 days that just passed in the new year. And in these first 5 lessons is the basis of A Course in Miracles, of at least of you freeing yourself from the perception that you were accustomed to. Like, that's an intense undoing process, the first 5 days. That's opening things up in your consciousness. And now we're going from 6 to 12. That's an incredible step, you could say. The incredible step is that more and more this becomes clear, it becomes clear to you that this has everything to do not with general statements about perception or general statements about thinking or thought, but that this has directly to do with how you feel, how you look, where you place your investment, where you think things are important, where you basically also bump up against the limitations of your own thinking. So that's only like within 12 days that we're talking about. Like, this is only the first 12 days in which this occurs. You're being confronted with ideas about your thinking, about your perception, that are totally controversial to your daily experience that you had so far. Okay, we did this. You might have done this for, maybe this is the second year. Maybe it's the third year that you're doing it. It doesn't matter. Like, however, it really doesn't matter how many times you have listened to the lessons or did the lessons. No, there's still something to discover. To me, when I just an example, I always just give an example because it's my own experience. Like, I went through the book many times. I was completely immersed in this, absolutely. But then suddenly I saw the book and I had like, oh my God, it is actually written black and white. I actually see it written in this book. That what I now, like what has grown within me to as a new experience of myself, it is actually written in this book. That's amazing. So that was vice versa. Instead of reading the lesson and recognizing, oh yeah, that's what I have to do, I recognize, oh my God, it's actually written in black and white. Here's proof of what I'm actually undergoing. It's working. But now from the other side, I read it again and recognize this is confirmed within me. It is working as it says. There's no, like, perfectly described in such clarity, but also in such honesty. In fact, you are able to buy a book where this is written. That is, like, that's amazing. Anyway, everyone has his own experience with it, so do I. So today I want to open up a specific field of quantum physics, and you might really like that. And that's the idea of a participatory universe. And what is a participatory universe? Well, in quantum physics, it was thought from a classical view, for instance, that things are influencing us and things are happening and then we perceive it. And this participatory universe concept is like QBism, it's called. At least in QBism, there's more to it, of course, but I use it very specifically. So the Q-base idea says there's a participatory universe. It is not fixed what is happening. No, you could see it like this. You enter into a soccer field, or you sit on the so you just yelling at your team, playing American football or whatever the game is you play in your country. You're entering into this arena. You're entering into the arena. Suddenly the arena completely changed because you enter in. The arena is not outside of you. So in other words, you participate in the game totally with every aspect of it. You basically see what you want to see. This is just an example, but I like this example because it tells you a lot about what we learn in the first 12 lessons. Like, my thoughts about anything basically have no meaning. But don't forget that you have given it meaning, and you believe, basically my reality that I experience is shaped by my beliefs, by my thoughts. So that's not a little thing. One of the lessons says too is like, well, there's no such thing as an idle thought. I think that's 14. Like there's no 15. There's no such thing as an idle thought. Something that literally can make up a whole world, which you believe to be true, but doesn't have any reality, cannot be thought of as an idle thought. No idle thoughts don't exist. Like it always makes something, whether that's limited as coming from your human ideas, or what is thinking with God, extending creation. So that's the difference, of course. It's like, so one creates the physical, one creates the limitation, one mindset creates pain, sickness, death, and all this all together. I believe that to be my reality, and I receive the consequences of it. There's no doubt about that. You know this too. So this is the same as entering into the arena. You basically see exactly what you want to see. Are you engaged in the game? Are you having a specific winner? Are you like, do you want this winner to be the winner, or what scenario is going to be played out this time? Does this scenario have any reality? In your experience of yourself, it does. You start to yell, sweat, and like you go on your feet and say like, yes, this is wonderful. My team is almost winning. Let's go for it. So you're completely engaged in the game. Now, how about this then? Like your telephone, you open it up. You open it up, you step into this world. In this world, you made it real. You like some things, you put on the like button. You confirm, you say, yes, I love this. Yeah, more of this, please, yes. So there's a machine working that out for you, and you get exactly what you want. But what is this machine, and what is this phone in the first place? It is what you have made. It is your participatory universe. You want this to be there, and you want to use this, because you cannot stop being creative in a certain sense, even in limitation. So here is another form of limitation presented to you by yourself. You can say like, I don't like artificial intelligence. I don't like this. I don't like that. Like, well, where does it come from? It cannot come from anywhere else. Like it's not falling out of the sky or something. Except, of course, this came out of the fourth dimension to you and tells you the mechanics of this limited frame in which you find yourself. Your participatory universe, thinking that that is your reality, is embedded like in your brain, or in your idea about your brain is an idea in your mind too. So in other words, we're getting into something here. Like there's all aspects that show us we're upset because we're seeing something that's not there. Is that right? Yeah, I'm upset. Lesson 6, I'm upset because I see something that's not there. I'm totally upset. I can be so upset about occurrences that I see happening in this universe, in this world. But it doesn't have any reality. It's what we learn. It goes on and on. So let's take a few of those then. Like that was only lesson 6. Lesson 7, I see only the past. Is there anything that I actually see? No, I see past. Why is that? Because it is related to my ideas that I hold about myself, otherwise I wouldn't even exist. I have to really invest in my ideas about myself, otherwise this whole image of myself will fall apart. Which is the thing that we're actually after. That is actually what we want to occur. This whole image of yourself may go. You don't need it in order to be. So this is huge, huh? This is a huge lesson. This is lesson 7 only. 7 days you did the lessons and you got confronted with this. So in lesson 7 it says, it is the reason why nothing that you see means anything, because you're only seeing the past. It's the reason why you've given everything you see all the meaning it has for you. That's why you see it. You give it meaning. That's why it's there. Is it really there? No. It is the reason why you do not understand anything you see. Why is it not understandable? Because it has no reality. It's gone. It's over. How could you know something that isn't there? That literally is not possible. You cannot understand what is not here. You cannot understand what has no reality. It makes sense, right? It is the reason why your thoughts do not mean anything, and why they are like the things that you see. It is why you are never upset for the reason you think. So what are your upsets related to? To what you see and what you think. Like, the only thing that you should do, we did this yesterday too, we did this on Thursday with the Miracle Healing Lab, like a shift in perception. I only have to say I have no need of this, and I'm healed of it. I only have to say, like, I'm seeing only the past, I have no need for this. I want to know what truly is going on, who I truly am. That has nothing to do with anything that I see or think about myself. So when I release that, when I let go of that and not take that in as my reality, I encounter I literally come in touch with the truth of who I am. Now there's another so-called participatory universe behind this that you're accustomed to. The one you're accustomed to is based on ideas, past ideas and past occurrences, past images, and will never be satisfying in any kind of way. Only very temporal, it might look like that, but there is always something that confirms the unreality of it. So in other words, it disappears. It just like soap bubbles, it goes like that. So here's another universe, like we come in touch with the real world. This is in fact what you're asked to, where you're invited to, the real world. It's a universe you participate in because basically this is a step. You are that. You are that universe. So you're totally participating in it because you are it. Not as you define yourself right now, not as you see yourself right now, but as you truly are. That's why it's like, that's why I use this background. It is like that. It's like it blows your socks off, to say the least. Because you come in touch with something that is real, you recognize it completely, fully, totally, recognizing that that is you. That you were fooled all along, thinking that this bleak and limited universe that you participated in was the sandbox that you wanted to play in. That's not really what you want. Now this is in fact what is being said and shared in the Course in Miracles. The sandbox that you're playing in right now doesn't avail you nothing. It's a desert. Get out of it. It is a little desert, a little sandbox where you played in as a kid, but you kept playing in it and you really think that's the only thing that really exists. Now wake up, because there's more. Get out of the desert. When you recognize you're in the desert, get out of it. It says literally in the urtext, it's like when you recognize that you're in the desert, one thing is only appropriate: leave the desert. So that's the call here. So the participatory universe as an idea from QBism is very interesting to look at, to see in your limitation, in my limitation as I describe myself, as I believe myself to be, as I define myself in my limited humanhood. It feels already a lot better when I recognize I'm not a victim of the world I see, but I'm actually participating in it. What I want, I can see. Now, people have been very excited about these ideas in manifesting tons of money, 6 Mercedeses and all this stuff, thinking that you can make your own reality. And of course you do, but that is your limited reality. That is a reality that will always refer back to your limitation. It isn't real as a reality. You esteemed it as real. Well, this is pretty clear now, I guess. It's like, it's good to recognize that the examples that we use, even from quantum physics, is literally given to us by one who came to a great insight, but it was in, you could say, that was in a place where limitation runs the show. And that's why it's great as an insight. It's great to use, and there's a real discovery there, and the ecstasy of finding something new that frees you as an expansion of mind is really beautiful, because that is part of the true nature of your being, you could say. What do you think creation is? So that fact in itself is like, yeah, I can totally understand that people want to research that. Now here, in this, doing these lessons of A Course in Miracles, you make a discovery that is very quiet, that has nothing to do with an immediate interaction with your world in the sense of manifesting the money that you want, manifesting the this or the that you want. No, it goes the other way around. Literally coming in touch what is real about yourself. So and that's why it's actually, when you start doing the exercise, it's so comforting, because it brings you back to your stillness and your quiet and your recognition. Oh my God, I was so absorbed in the world, I really thought I had to make something of that and make something of myself and prove that I can survive here. Now I come to my withinness and recognize everything is already given to me. I'm sustained by the love of God. Like God is with me. God speaks to me all through the day. I only have to listen. I have to open my mind in order to hear it. I have to quiet down my concepts and my basic instinct for survival. I quiet it down. Now I can be part and like co-creating in this creation, because I am the universe. I am all that. And my beingness is perfect and confirmed perfect by God, because He created me. In that sense, I'm love itself. I'm all the joy in the universe. That's just like the first 12 lessons, basically, in a nutshell. Yeah, so to bring it back to, okay, for every lesson we will stand still for a moment with the review, just to not miss anything in this undoing process, because that is what is taking place, the undoing of what I thought I was. And in fact, only that. What is already true about you is already there. That will never change, but it will surprise you completely. In the sense of coming to the experience of your totality is a true awakening, is an enlightenment of your mind. It's truly an amazing occurrence. An occurrence that takes place by itself, not by your doing. An experience that is given to you and that we practice in the Course in Miracles, step by step. We're starting to listen and to learn how to listen, and not be concerned with an outcome, but really bring it back to our own individual experience of the day. My thoughts do not mean anything. Whatever I see here has no meaning. And I go by and I practice it, because I want my mind to be miracle ready, so that I have moments in which I literally step out of time for a moment, have experiences of light and love and a bodiless state, which I'm looking forward to experience. It's like I invite that new experience to come to me, because I cannot find it here. And now I know, like it's written here, that you cannot find it there, because it's gone, it's over, it's past. That has nothing to do with reality. It's literally what I made up myself. That's all. Let's do this interactively. If you feel like reading this, just totally do it. You open your microphone and you participate. It is a participatory universe. I will always read it too because I love it. But if you want to read it in your language, perfect.
Je suis contrarié parce que je vois ce qui n'est pas là. La réalité n'est jamais effrayante. Il est impossible qu'elle puisse me contrarier. La réalité n'apporte que la paix parfaite. Quand je suis contrarié, c'est toujours parce que j'ai remplacé la réalité par des illusions que j'ai inventées. Les illusions sont contrariantes parce que je leur ai donné réalité et qu'ainsi je considère la réalité comme une illusion. Rien dans la création de Dieu n'est affecté en aucune façon par ma confusion. Je suis toujours contrarié par rien.
Oh yeah, that was lesson 6, wasn't it? I didn't copy that in. But I got it here. I'm never upset because I see what is. I'm upset because I see what is not there. That's lesson 6. Reality is never frightening. It's impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I'm upset, it is always because I've replaced reality with illusions I made up. The illusions are upsetting because I've given them reality, and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected by any way by this confusion of mine. I'm always upset by nothing. So I continue with lesson 7 then. I see only the past. I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon. I call this seeing. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I forgive myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past and therefore no enemies. And I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. Alright, so here, oh yeah, this is an interesting one. The block universe theory in physics. Like talking about the past, right? The theory in physics suggests that time does not flow at all. Like in physics they discovered. This is a theory. And time does not flow at all. Instead, the past, present and future all exist simultaneously in a four-dimensional block of space-time. Our perception of now is just a moving spotlight. So I like this idea. So I'm going to get out of this just as an illustration. It's like imagine time and space are not linear, but it's like a block, like it's a box full of time and space, you could say, in which all happenings are happening at the same time. This is not completely out of accord with the universe, you could say, because the universe in itself is timeless. Like there's an infinite now, which everything's taking place. So in that sense, physics came pretty close so far with that box idea. Of course it's not a box, and of course it's different, but this is just like a human illustration of what the universe is, or what four-dimensional reality is. And it's like a box with time and space, now, present, past, future. The whole thing is right in here, which is really like the ideas that you hold as limited ideas, like your perceptual associations, your frame of reference. And that's the words that we have used. Universal mesmerism, as Joel would say. It's like it's all in one box. Past, present, future. You can't get rid of ideas. They're all in the box. Now here's your torch. You think you're practicing the present. So you look at things and you see, oh, this is today. Oh yeah, now I can see today. Oh yeah, today there's this, there's that, there's this kind of climate, there's this kind of season, this is my Monday, this is blah blah. You define it more specifically. You literally shine with your torch on that segment of all occurrences, space and time, that are happening at the same time, basically. Because it doesn't tell you truly about what is really occurring. I thought it was great as an illustration. The idea of a box in which time and space are contained, and you shine with your light and the present moment. That's all you see. It's like the rest is dark. And then you shine on it. It's like, this is today. I give it all the meaning it has for me and all this kind of stuff. And what I'm seeing as no reality is of my own making. It doesn't really exist. But I have no idea. If I'm in this box and I believe this box to be a reality, this is the only thing I see. And that's my reality. So in that sense, it correlates with the mind training, like with what Jesus is sharing. It's like, no, it's not what you think it is. That's just a belief system. No, but it is what you do in your belief system. If that is your reality, that is what you believe to be true.
My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. What then can I see as it is? Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. Let me understand that I am trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in so doing, I am giving up nothing.
Yeah, thank you. So quantum entanglement, and here's an interesting idea too. Quantum entanglement, we looked at that before. It's like there are two particles. They have the same treatment, you could say. They spin in the same direction as little particles, like little balloons that are circling around through space, and they circle in the same around their axis in the same direction. Now they're going to be taken apart. One is moved to New York City on top of the whatever building, and the other one is in Amsterdam, right in the middle of the square. And they're all spinning in the same direction. Suddenly there's an occurrence. One balloon is going to be turned around and turned in a different direction. Well, right at the same time, that balloon in Manhattan is also spinning in a different direction, right in that moment. It's like it's infinitely entangled. It's completely connected. Now here's the thing. So quantum physics, sort of kind of metaphysics, you could almost use that term here. Like if you think of your current self, the idea that you have about yourself right now, and your past self idea as entangled entities, if you see them as connected to one another, but two different things, like there's a past you and there's a present you. The energy of vibration of a past event can instantaneously affect your present state, regardless of how much time has passed. You are now, because of part of your... Whoops, I didn't copy that completely. So, you are now because a part of your experience is still related to the past idea. That's what's occurring. It needs more words, that's for sure. So I'm using a little bit more time to express this. So there's a past self, there's a current self, like you experience yourself right sitting right here in front of the screen or whatever you do. And now there's, in order to be completely present here, you should be free of your past self, right? You should be free of that. So it's like, but they're entangled. They're still entangled. You did do the lesson, but you didn't dislodge yourself from your past experience yet completely. So what happens? You still sit here in the belief that you are who you think you are, that your current self is still defined by your past experience. That's why I love this. I love this example. It's like there's this past self. You're not that anymore. That's what you believe yourself. But you're not present here completely because you still have a belief about yourself. And that belief is based on past ideas. In other words, this past particle hasn't changed yet. Now here's the act of forgiveness. Forgiving 70 times 7. Or who knows how many times. Suddenly you discover, I've forgiven this past idea about myself. What happens to my energy level? What happens to my experience of myself? I have no relationship with what I thought about myself before. I can be completely present here, basically allowing an infinite amplitude to occur within me. It's like suddenly I'm miracle-minded, suddenly I'm in a miracle experience, suddenly I'm in a holy instant. Because it's no longer triggered, no longer in relationship with this past idea. I let go of that. The entanglement is broken, you could say, with the past idea. Like that does not work anymore. My present state of being is no longer related to a past particle, to a past idea about myself. So here I am, becoming completely present. With no limitation. In other words, I disappear in light. I connect myself with what is true about myself, because literally there is nothing disturbing that any longer. Yeah, this is a beautiful illustration, is what I thought. It's like that's a beautiful illustration of the actual process that you're in. You do the lessons. I'm seeing only the past. Well, I release the idea that I'm seeing only the past. Like I release myself from my past experiences. I'm not bringing it in continuously to keep it active. No, I release it. I let it go. I'm just doing the exercise and it happens by itself, by just going through the first 50 lessons, basically. Within the first 50 lessons, I have a good possibility of entering into a miraculous state of mind in which I, for the first time, catch a glimpse of my true nature. I start, you could almost say, like you start resurrecting within 50 days. Resurrection is literally entering into my true state of being that is no longer related to time and space. So this makes all sense. Like it's not that mystical whatever idea that you could hold about it based on past learning. Now this is a fresh new experience. It is that simple. What does the human mind do? Always make it complicated. That's why we need such a big book, otherwise no one would ever awaken. You have to go through something, 365 days of effort. That's huge. Why is that? Because of your complexity of thinking, because you need to have this clear into every fraction before you allow yourself to be swifted into reality. Or maybe it only takes one lesson to do it. That's fine too. Like it's not said that you have to do all the lessons. Like we start doing the daily lessons. If you have an experience of totality in the first lesson, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every lesson contains the whole. every day you are encountering your whole mind. So you can say, like, I accept that completely, and I love it, and I disappear into it. I disappear into this moment in my recognition of the totality of who I am. That's perfectly all right. We're not doing the exercises to keep doing the exercises. No, it is to attain a fresh experience of yourself that is no longer entangled to a past idea about yourself. All right, volunteer.
Je ne vois rien tel que c'est maintenant. Si je ne vois rien tel que c'est maintenant, on peut vraiment dire que je ne vois rien. Et je ne peux voir ce qui est maintenant. Le choix n'est pas entre voir le passé et voir le présent. Le choix est simplement entre voir et ne pas voir. Ce que j'ai choisi de voir m'a coûté la vision. Maintenant, je voudrais choisir à nouveau afin de voir.
Yeah, merci. Thank you so much. So I see nothing as it is now. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I've chosen to see has cost me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see. I might as well, right? So there's a strange phenomena. This is interesting too. A strange phenomena where the act of seeing, not seeing something or seeing it continuously affects its reality. It's the quantum zeno effect. You're influencing what you're looking at. You literally fix it or freeze it, as it says, like you freeze it in its own configuration. You want it to be there. By continuously bringing it into the observation, you freeze it. You literally make it solid. You make it there. This is what you do. It's like, well, this is the basis of perception, as what you do with as a human being. Like you are confirming its reality and you don't even recognize that you're doing it. How many times have you confirmed that you like some things and you don't like other things, and basically that always seems to be the same stuff? You want that to be the same stuff because that you believe that that's part of you. In other words, with whatever you have been thinking about yourself, you have identified with what you are thinking and you believe that to be your reality, making it you blind, and more blind. So here's the alternative. You cannot call it seeing what you're doing so far. So now open up by releasing your ideas about what you think you see. Opening that up makes it possible for you to see a whole new vision that has nothing to do with your descriptions or your definitions, as you have done that before. Now I suddenly see. My eyes are opening at last. Now I recognize in everyone my dearest friend. Like, I've missed that because I had ideas, limiting ideas about everything. When I release those ideas, I come into the recognition that of the perfection of everything. And I can enjoy that because it is basically what is true about me. So I don't have to define myself in order to recognize myself. My reality of being is confirmed in every aspect of creation. Wow, that is so amazing. Now I'm going to look at everything like that. I get a hang of it. I'm releasing all thoughts, in all situations, all thoughts. Brand new moment, open consciousness, no ideas about it whatsoever. At the same time, a total recognition with the occurrences that are taking place, having no associations with it, having no wish of an outcome, having no regrets about anything, having so on and so on. It's like you can be completely open, being in the direct experience of yourself. You can say, I'm in this world but not of it. Literally, everything that I've defined before, don't play in this game, in this new reality that I'm discovering. It doesn't matter anymore how anything is responding to me in that sense, because I feel and experience the fulfillment in every instant, but it has nothing to do with my ideas anymore. What a relief. So that is what we call an enlightenment, or it is your natural state of being. It's a recognition of your natural state of being. You don't have to do all the things that you think you have to do in order to keep yourself yourself. Like, all this is taken care of.
My thoughts do not mean anything. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts. It is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can these thoughts mean? They do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is the QBism I was talking about. See, in the participatory, the last sentence, in the participatory realism, the universe is more like an improvisational jazz performance. It is no longer fixed. So if your thoughts show you a meaningless world, it might be because you are viewing yourself as a passive spectator. QBism suggests that the meaning of the world is actually the consequence of your actions within it. The participatory realism is the universe where you participate in, as in an improvisational jazz performance. I love it. So I went into that at the beginning of this meeting. But I love the idea. All right, so here's lesson 12. Anyone?
I am upset because I see a meaningless world. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Any chaos rules a world that represents, half my screen is not there, chaotic thinking, and chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I am grateful that this world is not real, and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning.
Thank you. So this is a huge lesson, huh? I'm upset because I see a meaningless world. I'm upset because I see a meaningless world. And then immediately it says, insane thoughts are upsetting. So, Jesus, what's going on? They produce a world in which there's no order anywhere. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking. And on and on and on. I cannot live in peace. This world is a big chaos. Because its basis is insanity. And see, this might not be that easy to accept right away. To say the least. It's like the basis of the trouble with this lesson is the personal offense. It's like, excuse me? My thoughts are, you're trying to relate my thoughts to insanity? Excuse me? It's like, well, to whom doesn't it happen that it's a kind of offense? It's like, well, I thought a lot about my thoughts, but I really did not see them as insane. I really thought I had great ideas too. Like, great ideas, wonderful ideas. Okay, some stupidity here and there, but I'm doing pretty good. Like, this is what you think about yourself as a human being, right? And no. It's like I'm seeing a meaningless world because it's based on insane ideas. And you can say, like, okay, well, so what is the nature of the insane ideas where my world is based on? Okay, here it comes. It's like a bucket of cold water. Here it is. I'm seeing only the past. My thoughts are related to past ideas. Not what is present in front of me, fulfilling everything that I could possibly want. I say, no, I don't want that. Give me past ideas. Past ideas that I made myself to make my world, and yeah, it's a lot of work, I'll do it. Instead of this, instead of just accepting what is here right now, where you don't have to do anything for. Like, even in talking about energy sufficiency or energy efficiency, no wonder this world is draining you, because this world is based on past ideas. To keep them alive, you have to do a lot of work. And why do you do that? You have to recognize that that's an insane action of mind. In other words, you can let go of it. You don't have to do it any longer. So restoring yourself, letting yourself be restored back to sanity, is basically letting go of your past ideas that you hold about yourself, about your spouse, about your world, about your president, about your oceans, about the climate, about you go on and on and on and on. Just release these ideas. In order to come to what is here already, what you don't have to make, what is the total fulfillment of yourself, where there's the perfect happiness that you've been looking for, where there's the peace that you've been dreaming about, where there's the total connectedness that you so desperately have been looking for. It's all right here. So, knowing that and walking away from it is just as insane as considering any idea that is related to the past. It's the same, like insane is insane. They're not really order of difficulty in insanity. It's all the same. It's insane, that's all. And it's not even you thinking that. You have given that meaning. That's the difference. But they don't have any meaning in themselves. So the personal offense that takes place by you recognizing, I'm thinking insane ideas, it's good because, in fact, you don't have to take it personal. These thoughts you have given meaning. That's all. But these thoughts are meaningless. So you can let go of them and they're gone. Like you don't have to do anything with them anymore. So the participatory universe, I wanted to really emphasize this in this meeting, just because of it's a nice step up to coming into an active participation in your dream, recognizing you're the dreamer, like this is not happening, nobody's doing this to you, you're the dreamer of this dream. You define literally what you want to experience. This is where your salvation will be, recognizing that it's depending on you. I'm responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience. We could hear Master Teacher share that, like on Wednesday last week. It's great. Maybe we watch again the 1 to 50 lessons, because it is like, that is so to the point, and it's such a great support to stick with it. Because even the titles of the lessons are so powerful in sense of recognition. Oh yeah, I don't need to hold that. Oh yeah, I'm seeing only in the past. Like now, since you're so actively participating in these lessons, it seems so familiar to you that you think like, oh yeah, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. But when you go through a moment in which you forget it, and it might not be long, it might be long, might not be long, then you're so happy to have one of these close at hand. Of course, you can take your 20-minute book with you too, that you can download on the website. But it's like this needs continuous repetition, because your mind is so accustomed to picking up old ideas. It's literally in its lazy state. It's like a sleepy state. In its sleepy state, it picks up old ideas. So when it's present, when it just did the mind training, when it's just having a bit of a different experience, it is fresh and new, and then it makes all perfect sense. The moment you step out of that to go into fear or into anxiety for just a second, you are very happy to remember one of these lessons, even the titles. I'm seeing only the past. None of this is real. These thoughts are images that I've made. I'm only seeing meaningless ideas. Like, let's get back to this. You know, like it is the perfect answer to every situation, to have this toolbox ready to go. Thank you for your participation, active participation today in this mind training, Quantum Enlightenment. And I hope to see you on Wednesday when we watch Master Teacher. Thank you. See you soon. Bye for now.